Okay.
Alright, sir, are you ready for number 4?
Yeah.
Which is Wowzers is Seliph.
I will never yield.
You know, Seliph has actually become a very viable hero. Have you guys seen the Selifs in Ether raids? As a defensive hero, he actually works out really well, just from the fact that he now has Miracle. So he's not like other heroes who are a bad defensive stalwart because they just die. He actually is very... If you have a physical hero especially, he's very difficult to kill. Wowzers, 40 plus 10 with 6 flowers, 58 HP, 58 attack, 29 speed, 35 defense, 31 res. He's another one of those heroes that works out so much better in the current meta because he has so much HP. What the heck? Ryu? Do you remember the original Seliph? Is he missing something?
The one with the attack defense bond?
Is he supposed to have attack defense bond?
No, this is a different one, right? Oh, no, this one works better because it can go against dragons and whatever. No, if it's for AR.
Is this the right Seliph or not?
Is it right or not?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he's missing a seal.
Okay.
He had it on there earlier when I checked. I don't know what the fuck he did, but it's gone.
What was the seal? Just say what the seal was. What was the seal?
Do you handle the pressure of answering?
I forgot I had push to talk. Quick repose.
Oh my god. Yes.
It was quick riposte.
Okay, thank you. Somebody answered it. Okay. Seliph, use some
Sorry, I had to
QR.
scroll a long ass ways up to be able to actually see it.
Alright, well, there you go, guys. That makes a lot more sense, because 29 speed is pretty mediocre. QR would help him actually deliver some kills. Wait a second, is he supposed... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop asking questions.
Everything else is right.
Okay, good. Okay, he's tarfing with res. Okay, reposition, vengeance, DC, wrap, attack smoke, and the invisible QR seal. Alright, Ryu, explain this to me.
Okay, so this is a build that he did make for AR to catch some people off guard. He went with Res Refine over attack defense bond to help him tank mage hits and whatever. So then he'll probably be left with at least a little bit of HT so that he can really make use of vengeance. Wrath helping a lot, and attack smoke also helping afterwards so he can take more hits.
You know, this is very interesting because I do believe in Seliph. I've actually been stonewalled by Selifs before, because you suddenly find yourself unable to attack their team because you can't kill the Seliph in time. And then, of course, they can have calves and stuff behind, so you can't really retreat very well. So I'm actually really surprised by it. But the fact that he's using Vengeance, this is... Chat, how many of you guys have even seen Vengeance be used? Like, competitively? I don't remember the last time, but he does make it work, because if Tarfing drops you to 1 HP, and you get that Vengeance ready, and that's 29 damage, plus 10, on top of your normal blow. You can definitely catch someone off guard. Wow.
You know, you look at this build though, and it feels weird with the quicker post, honestly.
No, the QR
It's like
system... Well, actually, you're kind of right.
It doesn't really synergize with... Well, it can with Wrath, but only at a certain threshold.
I think it scares people off, because then he can't be a free hit. Because if he hits back twice, there's a much better chance of him killing than just with one blow.
It's good for a first encounter. That's it. After that, it's kind of just...
Yeah, and I guess in AR, that you don't have that many turns, so that first encounter is big.
You know, one day the healing tower will be so strong, it'll heal 50% of his HP. So if you find yourself hitting a Seliph and he survives hit with 1 HP, the healing tower could just heal him back up. Because he just has to reach 29 HP. The healing tower can heal 25 right now, right? Okay, I'm gonna double check.
But is he a defense hero? Because he's light blessed.
Oh, okay. Huh. I would totally use him defensively.
I mean, he could still get the tower, but it's not going to be as effective.
Or maybe you don't want him, because 63... Because the thing is, Tarfing, I believe you can use it multiple times. A foe reduces HP to 0. Unit survives 1 HP once per combat. Does not sack. Once per combat. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it as many times as you want, as long as he's above the right threshold.
Okay, so I can imagine, like, if you have a healer next to him for now, because the healing tower, I believe, goes to 25, and if it goes to 25, that is enough to make this very, very scary for Ether Raids. So you guys might look at this build and think, like, Vengeance. Well, this is one of the few heroes that will properly use Vengeance, especially because he has DC Wrath. You can't just pick at him from afar. And you might be looking at that 35, 31 and be like, oh, that's not so high. And but you have that HP, and as long as he survives one hit, that second hit can only drop him to 1. And that's why he's so scary. And that Vengeance Wrath can actually just... That's right. If they... Okay. That's actually crazier than I thought. Because they attack. He attacks. They attack. And he cures back with the Wrath Vengeance. If he survives with one... Oh my god. That's actually scary. Well, I actually really like this build. Except for the fact that your QR seal is invisible. But that's really cool. I like this. And I'm just going to double check real quick. That actually blows my mind. That's such a great utilization of him. Yeah, right now it's level 4. It's already at 25 HP. If it becomes level 5, guys, he will heal back up to over 50% HP. In other words, you can trigger it again. That's crazy. Yes, you can one-shot him. You can definitely one-shot him. I mean, you can two-shot him, but yeah. All right, who next?
All right, I can't tell you what hero they have, but I can tell you who it is.
Okay.
And it's Exalted.
Okay. No, it's probably the lobster, because he loves lobsters.
We stand together!
At this point, every time I eat a lobster, I kind of want to imagine I'm eating Ryoma. Not sexually. I don't like Ryoma. That was... Never mind. Alright, Exalted. Well, it's not his sword. Peerless Samurai Ryoma, you stopped at +9, you poor sucker. Alright, well, Ryoma, Peerless Samurai. 40 +9, 8 flowers. 52 HP, 61 attack, 48 speed, 35 defense, 29 res. Duh, it's Fury 4 Desperation. I've always said I think Fury Desperation is the greatest synergetic skills in the entire game. And then you did even attack wave with Flashing Blade, Gale Force. Actually, ooh, I get it now. Because Slaying drops it to 4, he attacks, flashing triggers, they attack, he attacks, flashing triggers. It's 4 cooldowns, so you're going a bit overboard. Whatever, it triggers. Right away you have Gale Force. And then you can kill something, run away. And next battle you can just double, Flashing Blade triggers, Gale Force triggers, and then you just run away from the battle again. Or you can go all in and attack. That's actually really cool. And because it's Fury 4, you will have no issue getting into Desperation, especially because Ryoma's defense his defense is pretty good at this point, but it's not that crazy. But yeah, that's pretty good. Huh. T, do you agree with not using Raijinto? I mean, that is his ancestral sword, isn't it?
You know, looking at this, the first thing I'll tell you right now is every ounce of me that lives by arena scoring is screaming, what the fuck are you doing not using Raijinto?
Yeah.
But as far as a fun build goes, I mean, obviously you want to try and go ahead and have a little bit of fun with it. So, I mean, this right here is the definition of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, that's my take on it. But, I mean, overall, the build is definitely nice because the second you get into desperation mode, that slaying edge definitely becomes critical because then you don't have to worry about follow-ups from your enemy, because when he's hitting for 61, more often than not, he's probably going to be killing just about everything that he faces, unless if it's really, really bulky.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever he triggers that Gale Force, then obviously he's got to try and make sure he either tries to kill somebody else or get on out of there. And if he's doing it through desperation, if you have Raijinto still there, you're not going to be triggering it when you're in desperation.
Correct.
At times.
Correct. Okay, that's exactly why I like this build. It's also the build I've, well, not Fury 4 on her, but the new Edelgard. I mean, she can also do this build because she, well, her ace could be anything else, but she has slaying as well in her weapon, and because she can get doubles too. Anyways, there's a lot of interesting heroes that can do this, and Ryoma's one of them. All right.
I think this is actually one of our first Fury Desperation builds that made it into the top 10.
That's actually surprising because this is a really good one. I just wanted to explain to people why you might want to use Gale Force even though it doesn't generate damage. A lot of people lose track of the game and they think of everything in these ideal situations. Like, I will always have all my buffs and my opponents will have none of them. I will always be able to attack my opponent and not worry about some other hero behind him killing me. Like, people don't consider these things. That's why the flexibility of movement with Gale Force is huge, even though it doesn't generate extra damage. And you can do a lot of builds that don't do as much damage, but they're so much more viable in combat. I've seen people like talk to me in like these absolute perfect, when their characters at their full power, which in reality doesn't really happen all the time. So yeah, this is one of those builds I really like a lot because of the movement Gale Force provides you. Also, it's, you know, there's offensive potential there. Now, usually when we see builds like this nowadays, it's with Flashing Blade 4 instead of Fury 4. But in terms of Ryoma and how it works with Desperation, this does make a lot of sense. So I do like this build. Yeah, and even Attack Wave just makes a lot of sense too. Because again, you're not depending on your special for kills anymore. You're depending on raw power. And at 61 base, you probably can do it. But yeah, I like this.
Let me ask you this though. This is a defense here.
I'm not so sure about that part though. Yeah, I'm not even sure if Exalted plays this plays Ether Raids. I'm not even sure if Exalted plays this game. All right, moving on. He's summer supported too. Thanks.
Yeah, oh, not last one. Two more. Number 2, this is Lightning 23's Winter Cecilia.
All right. Now, if you guys haven't seen Lightning 23 before, he actually played my defensive team one time on stream, and then he lost. So please check him out at Lightning 20. Nimious plays Lightning 23, and I'm pretty sure he'll bring up his Ether Raids battle. He was there in the chat when we went over it. It was really funny. I
remember that. That was a fun day.
I am not being a dick. And also, it was really funny because almost all his heroes were like minus attack. This guy's probably one of the most unlucky people ever. All right, Lightning 23.
This is traditional clothing for the Winter Festival.
You know what his name reminds me of? Have you guys seen the old, like, what's that mobile game called? It's the Legend 23. Do you guys remember those commercials?
Oh, the Legend 27. I forgot what it was.
Oh
it was
my
like
god!
Asia
Shut up, never mind. I did not mention anything about this. We are now going over the hero. Okay, Festive Instructor Cecilia. 40+7 with 5 Dragon Flowers. This makes a lot of sense. But guys, I think you should make Kranya. I'm so glad I didn't commit to Cecilia, because Kranya, in my eyes, is so much better. Why is Kranya better? Oh wait, we're supposed to talk about why this hero is better. Okay, we'll talk about why Kranya is better after we talk about Cecilia in a positive manner. Is Lightning here? Alright, Lightning is not here, so we're fine. Okay, Cecilia. So 40+7, 5 flowers. This is a max Cecilia. You factor in all that, gets you 48 HP, 52 attack, 27 speed, 36 defense, 41 res. That is not bad at all. 41 res is especially potent with that distant defense. Oh my god. Letho Carrot. Swap, Noontime, Distant Defense 4, Special Fighter 3, Pulse Smoke, and Fear Stance. I already know this build. Baked. Tell me about this build.
It's basically the AR standard, but he
Yes.
he took the distant counter, the range counter option. So instead of going close counter,
Yes.
he just said he slapped on distant defense 4 and just said, screw it, I'm gonna just hard counter anything that's ranged. There's no mage, no bow or dagger that it can really punch through all that bulk. Maybe if they have effective damage, but otherwise. And then you have Pulse Smoke there. Pulse Smoke, Fear Stance, everything just works together. Like Lethal Carrot and Noontime is so good, especially like Special Fighter. It's everything about this build is just consistent. It's unfortunate, like it's really meta, but it's great.
So people who don't know how this build works, the reason why it works so well and everything about it, It's simple. Cecilia she will just bait every range hero and she will decimate them. Basically, if they hit her, this is in defense 4 triggers, so +8 to defense and res, so 44, 49, and it nullifies their bonuses. So if they had some buffs, they're gone now. Special fighter prevents them from getting their specials, but helps her get her specials faster as well. So it works as guard and a faster cooldown. Why is that important? Because that gets her instant noontime. So every time she's hit, she has a noontime ready. And why is that important? Well, then when she hits past that lethal carrot, she does 10 extra damage and she heals herself up. So she should be able to keep herself in special fighter because she has so much res and defense, and she should be able to kill them because she's hitting back with noontime lethal carrots. Now the fear stance helps with the damage here. But my one question is this actually the best way about going about this? Because, I don't know. Do you think this actually kills them in one hit?
With enough support, yeah, she should be able to, because she also has dagger debuffs. After the first engagement.
Ah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Alright. And then, of course, the pulse smoke is really interesting. Really useful, too. Because that gets rid of the specials on other heroes. Well, not necessarily. but that does help a lot. This is so ether raids. This is like primed for ether raid.
Yeah, it's just meta.
Man. Okay, that's quite a bit of skills. Alright, so for ether raids, I totally see this. For everything else, you'll probably have other builds. Or not use her, but Cecilia is one of those ideal heroes for ether raids. But I think you should use Kronya. Why? Kronya has Vantage built in her weapon, and she can get extra 5 attack, 5 speed, as long as everyone else is under 100% HP, which is basically built for this, because she just has to use Savage Blow, double Savage Blow. So I'm going to make a +10 Kronya instead of Cecilia, and the difference between BST is magically only 3. Of course, Cecilia sacrifices speed for more defense and more res, but Kronya is overall better offensively, and overall, her movement not being so shitty is very important. Because your ability to move 2 spaces is actually really important. I mean, you can't just look at stats. Again, if you look at just stats, armor heroes are going to win everything virtually. But in terms of movement in ether raids, it's important because you got to get the ether. You got to move from one place to another, and you only have a certain amount of turns. So armor heroes, sometimes it doesn't work so well. For that reason, I don't really like using armor heroes in ether raids. But no, I see these Cecilias a lot, and they work well. All right, who's number 1?
Alright, number 1 is Dais. And this is his New Year's Corrin.
Okay. Yes, they do have different roles because Kronya is not much of a tanker. She should be used offensively. She also has the movement to be used offensively. 4, 5, 9. You know, it would be really funny if you guys just send these guys invites as well. Like friend requests. We should try that sometime, filling up some guys' friend request list. Oh god. Whenever you guys say New Year Corrin, I always think of New York Corrin, and I sometimes make that mistake, and then people make fun of me for it. It's still pronounced Dais, by the way, but nobody cares. That's true.
Whatever you say, Dais.
Whatever you say, Dais.
This is a Hoshiden outfit. Like it?
Alright. But yeah, going on from here. 40 + 7 Corrin with +7 flowers, and what are the... Okay, 45 HP, 50 attack, 37 speed, 38 defense, 21 res. Bouquet Bow. I mean, Luis dying is inconsequential to everybody, so that's fine. Rally defense res, I believe he comes with that. I believe he comes with dual rally and dual spurs. Bonfire, 30 impact, QR, spur defense res, and darting blow 3. Go ahead, T. What is this? What is this
right
monstrosity?
here is number 1 for a very good reason.
Okay, and what's that
When
reason?
he's
Did you get
attacking
paid for
on
this?
Player phase,
No, go ahead.
it's just powerful all the way around.
Yeah.
Because you get an extra plus 10 attack, you get an extra plus 10 to speed, and you get an extra plus 10 to defense. So he's hitting 60 attack, 47 speed, and 48 defense. That bonfire is gonna hurt like a motherfucker. And needless to say, this is definitely a really good way to build a unit that is deceptively powerful. You can go ahead now, Nim.
I'm just baffled by this, but this does make some sense. Corrin is one of those. Corrin is very much like Jacob in having high defense, relatively high defense. Jacob and Gordon. Actually, he's kind of very close to Jamkey as well, except Jamkey has more attack. All right. So I'm actually surprised someone went for Corrin, because Corrin you have to use Grails on. He is free and he... I'm actually really surprised by this. Okay, but he does hit 60 and hit 43, and that is a pretty hard hit, and he does prevent doubles. And with QR, defensively, he's no joke either. And when he attacks, it's an additional 4 attack. I've never seen something like this. It really works. You should all kill your Louises now.
I already killed my 4-star one for Home Cavalry, actually.
For Hone Cav? How can you not have any Gunters? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't have any right now because I really haven't been pulling on green lately, and I needed one because when I was going absolutely apeshit in Tempest Trials, I got to a point where I basically ran out of horses that had Home Cavalry that didn't have max HM, so sacrifices need to be made.
I would have just waited, but alright. Anyways,
I'm too impatient.
Very clearly. But anyways, as the final hero, oh man, plus 6 attack, plus 6 speed, plus 10 defense when attacking, and as one of the heroes of one of the archers of high defense. This does make a lot of sense, and this does work. I am just absolutely baffled. This is the choice. But it does work, and I respect that much at least. Defensively, though, he is nowhere near as good, because with QR, if they don't double him, he does not get the bonfire, and chances are killing are much more slimmer. But if he does get the QR, then that's a bonfire, and he should get the kill. He's not the best range counter, because that's 21 res with 45 HP and 37 speed, so if he gets double, he's in trouble. But for countering other archers, he should be pretty decent. Okay, that's your last hero. We're done.
If you don't mind, I do want to clear one thing up. His name is pronounced Dais.
Yes, Dais.
Yeah,
that's what we
Dais.
said. Okay.
Dais.
No. Dais.
Dais, okay.
Dais.
Okay. Anyways, real quick, before we start our sponsor stream, if you guys are new around here, probably not, because YouTube streaming is practically impossible. But I don't usually stream on YouTube for this stuff. It's just I wanted to try something new before we went over to sponsor stream, which you guys should check it out, because you guys have probably seen Let It Die, and it's really interesting. Have you ever heard of a skateboarding Grim Reaper? Well, you're gonna find out. But also the game's free. But we are sponsored, which is weird. But the game is free. Anyways, if you guys are on YouTube and you have never checked us out, we usually stream on Twitch virtually every day, bit of FEH every day, and we also have Discord. So if you guys ever want to play chat FEH or any other gacha game, because there's other gacha games and even Smash in our Discord, we have a link for that, Discord.gg Nimdom, but yeah, that should be it for Faye. But you guys should stay around to check it out. Let It Die.